Although 500 applicants have moved on to the next phase of owning their own home through the government-aided self-help housing program, recipients are being warned that they have 2 years to commence building on the land. CEO of the Land Settlement Agency, Hazar Hosein, issued the stern warning during the Lease Distribution Ceremony in Carapichaima on Friday morning. Sunil Lalla has the details.
It was in 2017 that the state first introduced the government-aided self-help housing program that garnered over 5,000 applications. But in the end, just about 500 were selected and approved to move on to the next phase of owning their own land, which is highly subsidized. Chief Executive Officer of the Land Settlement Agency and Chairman of the Housing Program, Hazar Hosein, says the fully developed residential lots are valued at over $400,000. But he warns that there is one clause in the agreement where persons are required to build on the land within 2 years of receiving the lease. This, he says, is to guard against persons who may have intentions of saving the land for their children or grandchildren, since the aim of the program is to reduce the demand for housing.
You're receiving this property because your application, you're an applicant among thousands of others. You were considered as deserving candidates for housing in the short term. This is not to keep the land for your children or grandchildren. You are the ones to build on these property. There are serious consequences if you don't fulfill what you agreed to.
And Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Simon Thorn Mora-Quinones, explains that the beneficiaries will have access to residential lots at just a fraction of its market value and will receive the technical support from the Land Settlement Agency.
Through this program, potential beneficiaries without land, such as our recipients today, will have access to fully developed residential lots, much like the ones on this site, where we are today. The lots are being offered to you at only 30% of its market value, which is a steal of a deal. Huh?
Meanwhile, Housing Minister Penelope Beckles congratulated a few recipients on receiving their leases and defended the P&M administration's move for scrapping the Land for the Landless initiative in 2015 for this current program.
And at that time, no applicant had received a deed of lease for the residential lots that were allocated. In 2017, the Land for the Landless program was terminated and replaced with the aided self-help housing program because this administration understands that shelter is a major priority objective.
The Land Settlement Agency is providing the recipients with standard pre-approved house plans which can save them thousands, but the agency says it would not stand in the way if the beneficiaries have their own design. Sunil Lalla, TTT News.